Hello, my name is Tenario Powell. I'm a student of the doctorate program at Middle Georgia State University. This is for my ITEC 8120 class. It is April the 29th, 2024, and the assignment is a case study. The case study I chose was Bank of America. Let's dive into it. Keywords: IT compliance, IT policy, and IT governance. Purpose and problem statement. First, the purpose of this academic piece is to conduct a case study of an organization. It will assess the IT policies, compliance, and legal requirements. The researcher will review the policies at hand and suggest improvements, if any. The case study will be Bank of America. This is a financial institution that is a big corporate entity. The systems the entity has in place should be sufficient to conduct and analyze. There's a plethora of information on this company as well. The information presented will continually try to be effective controls for the IT security disciplines. The statement is, how do we improve the policies and compliance at hand, if there's any to improve at hand? If it is not, we make suggestions of new technologies to combine with existing technologies. The goal of this academic piece and the researcher are to gain experience conducting case studies and satisfy the requirements of the stakeholder. In this case, it is the professor of the class that is the stakeholder. The security principles, experience from other degrees, experience from the field, and the information learned in this program will be applicable to this academic piece. In addition, it will show competency in writing, interpreting, and analyzing information from professional sources. Discussion and literature. Next, Bank of America has IT policies in place. They were hit with a breach in 2023. A threat actor compromised IMS systems around November 3rd, taking some of the applications offline. This disclosed a mass of public identified information. This is one of the incidents that could have been prevented with encryption. And that would be also my recommendations. The Bank of America have filed a lot of patents in 2023. In-text citation. The Bank of America spends $12 billion a year on technology. It plans to allocate $3.8 billion to new initiatives this year. Spending and budget control will help with IT policies as well. IT security requires you to have a budget in place for incident response and equipment to help. One of my recommendations for that, also with this, would be SIEM systems in place to detect for breaches and things of that nature and any abnormal activity on the network. Bank of America uses authentication for their services. Bank of America added an additional layer of security for its online services. I'm a Bank of America customer, so I know they do that with text message. The CIF security is always a good principle to implement, which they're doing here. Authentication, part of that. Integrity and availability are the three categories of that principle. Authentication is being used at Bank of America now. That is a good security layer. What I would do as a researcher and would suggest is another layer of authentication as well, with multi-factor authentication with the text message to do something else. So basically, they send a text, then you also do biometric or something with your fingerprint. Moreover, the next topic of discussion is governance of the data. The data of thousands were compromised in the incident at Bank of America. In-text citation. The losses of the data of Bank of America were estimated to be $30 million. That is a lot of money. To prevent this type of impact, Bank of America that had data custodians, data owners, and database security and auditing. I took that in one of my masters as well, in my data management grad certificate, and in my master's program. This could have mitigated or avoided the problem with PII. They could have used used masking or encryption with some kind of cryptography or some kind of algorithm or hashing. I think with the data at rest, if they did that, if it got compromised, no one would be able to get it anyway. Information systems at financial institutions are getting more and more digitized. Cybersecurity is not an in-house issue, but one dependent on a serious organization. As when you have breaches and you have incident response plans, they usually get third parties involved to monitor your network and monitor your digital assets and that aspect of cybersecurity and network security. Also, I think also what could help is awareness training on phishing would be ideal as well. Spear phishing and targeting the help desk with emails and malware and stuff like that, worms and stuff like that, viruses, that is a big thing, and ransomware as well. That is the easiest way and the most prolific way that hackers use in this old school. Just clicking on a phishing email or a link. Bank of America also instantiated a 2-year identity plan for customers. This is another form of governance. Bank of America listed a third-party forensic firm to help aid in the recovery plan. After the eradication, then you recover. Governance can include recovery and incident response plan. This can be improved by putting safeguards in place for gaining a customer approval after a disappointment, which was the breach. Also, what I would do with that is do a memorandum of understanding or some kind of contract in place with that third party so you can be held accountable. Legal requirements. All financial institutions must comply with SOX. Recently, SOX has evolved into more than just a framework for ensuring financial record accuracy. It is very pertinent that you have accurate records of financials and stuff like that dealing with accounting and financial institutions. This includes commercial banks, investment banks, insurance companies, brokerage firms, CPA firms, wealth management services, mutual funds, and credit unions. Also, compliance. Compliance requirements can help to determine what should be protected and how to improve cybersecurity. That can be listed with third-party services and information with the data breach pertaining to PII. We'll go over the recommendations of the next sector for the attack vectors. More importantly, the recommendation will be use encryption or masking for data at rest. That could have stopped a whole lot. Also, SIEMs for detection, endpoint detection, firewalls, network access, host firewalls, things of that nature. That could have helped as well. Also, another technique will be used data protection solution or data prevention policies. So if you have data custodians, data owners, and database auditing techniques, you can use all that to see if anything has been compromised on a day-by-day basis and catch it and stop it. For the two new technologies I think that's going to be dealing with financial is IT security with fintech. Fintech is an exploding industry. Also Web 3.0 that will show ownership of the web. I predict this will be used collectively and extensively in financial institutions in the years to come. Also with cybersecurity and machine learning, combined with Web 3.0 and fintech. Lastly, the case study has assessed policies, governance, and compliance. These subjects will continue to be the forefront of IT security, network security, and cybersecurity. Financial institutions will have to step their game up as the attack vectors continue to grow. The next wave of attack will be directed on healthcare, which we saw with the ransomware when they shut down where you couldn't get your medicine. That was about a month or two. And I also think it will be finance. In conclusion, the finance sector is up next to protect. If the assets of medium of exchange are broken and you cannot buy goods, the consumers will begin to suffer. The economy will suffer drastically as well. IT professionals, as us, as cybersecurity professionals, network professionals, system admins, must pivot to this sector and continue to innovate effective solutions to prevent such breaches or incidents. That is my presentation. That's all I have right now. I learned a lot from the class for IT policy and governance. I plan to use it with my experience in the field. And that's about it. Thank you.